The ATR bot's making money this morning. It's up $42. Now I left this unattended, and I set only 3 charts on the euro. I have the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the 15. But I'm in a buy only mode. Okay, I'm looking at the retracement to come, and I'm telling this thing, hey, you know what? Please buy on pullback stops. So you can see all the trades it did here, where it got it right. Now I'm going to have to intervene and close all the profits out if I see it take out the high of the day. Now I told this thing to trade from the long side because I'm expecting a retracement. If you want to call that a trend, a retracement, I guess so, because you would say, well, for the last 4 hours, of course, changing this is going to make a difference, but if it got in on a breakout down here, now, given the right settings, and it didn't get stopped out, you totally made money on that trade. That's the perfect fit, right? Spinning top, a little chop out, but hey, how about if he gets in here, he runs a trailing stop of X, he's a genius for a day. Okay, now I'm just going to scalp out of him. And then I would say, let me go and change all these, say, back to what they were, was the 15-minute entry hunt. He's looking to get in on buy stops. And that's all there is to it. Now, if you have only three going, is it possible for this thing to go out looking for scanning just for that one setup? So going back to the chess robot, he's looking for an open file, an open column to get in and a clear pathway to get in and do that one maneuver. So this is pretty crude, robot. But I guess also engage the sell side, say on this chart here. So this would be a sell chart, and if I wanted to keep it out of trouble, I rewrote the script on the system to close all sell sides. So I also have a really big size here on this very tight delta. It's actually 1 pip. So it just got in here on this one. But what if I set this to sell only on this panel? Some of the problem there is it's going to be activated when I'm on the 1 minute time frame. So if I go to the 1 hour time frame, and now I'm already in on this trade based on the 1 minute breakout. So what if I make this a sell? It's just only going to trade on sells, but really tight. If I see the market going up on the 1 minute, going up, and then I switch it to 1 minute, I can almost I can't say guarantee it's going to try to fill me on the short side, but so it said the short. Also, I have this script I wrote that I kind of edited this. It's in the latest up version of this load up that since sell only, close the sells only. So if I see a sell pop up that I don't like now, and when I want to engage the sell side, I just went to the 1 minute. Now it's going to be sniffing for the ATR set to 1, I think, in here pretty tight, and it's going to try to get in for a scalp of 14 pips. ATR 1, delta's at 1 there. Okay, so it went long on these other time frames, and if I see a sell pop up and I don't like the price, and it hasn't filled yet because it's a stop, that's the only advantage of stop entry, is you have the chance to manage the pre-entry, and that's so if you know this is a sell side and this is the buy side, and to turn off this, I would say if I go to the 4 hour, it's probably not going to get a signal. It's in essence like turning it off. If you come down to the 1 minute, since we don't have a 10-second chart, this will be the only signal we'll get to sell. And that would be the other way to pick the setup that you know this will be triggered by. Pretty mechanical trading there. I'll scrunch out a little bit. So to probably put a sell stop in here when this goes sideways for a bit. Right now it's long. And these, if you want this to take another long position, and you know these are your long screens, and these are two different stops here. So I would say put this, I'm long on these two separate designed robots, and I'm short on the scalp side. This is actually going to trade pretty big in these other directions. This is a 30K, this is a 20K, and a 13K here. So I know which panel filled, and that's currently how I'm. Something's getting crazy here. I'm seeing a lot of drama. Plus, I can close the selling winners or the buying winners. I will actually close all of these. But if you might get whipsawed if you, of course, are in and out of this thing. But this is an easier way to manage the. It's just at this point, it's just taking like a. Well, if I put everything the same size, you would say this is going to be 30%, 33% short, 66% long. Something like that. Okay, big pullback coming. No indication from no cells are getting triggered here. Maybe pop up a cell. No. See, now I wish it would have noticed the cell there, and it didn't. So the cell's a little late there for me. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to take this out and let this go into. If I change the time frame here, then I'll just let the buy stops fill now on this pullback. So this isn't like we couldn't see this big crush back coming. Buying on limits now and some stops. So that's why I bailed out of that. This is so momentary. We'll keep this guy out. And we're just going to get in on, so that sell might make money, and I can have my finger on the sell trigger, or if I think we're going to go ripping up, which I think we are, I get out of that. Okay, let the system go long for me. It went long on this. I think it's supposed to be this one because this is set at 13. I should probably just make it 10. Okay, I guess I was feeling Fibonacci there. So 10, I was channeling Fibonacci, Robinacci. That's my new gig. I'm a channeler on the side. I was going to market my trading techniques, but I thought I'll just be a channeler. I'll just channel Robinacci. So I would have liked to have bought here on a limit on some stop hunt to this wick. So it's totally long. I don't think the sell bot's going to engage unless we get something that perks up on the 4 hour to engage it. Here I'm going to put this back to the 1 minute, so If it sees another breakout to the upside, it's going to take it. It's already taken this panel and this panel. Now, if I think that this is about as far as we can expect this little burst, I would say close all profits. Don't close the... and apparently getting out of that has just triggered another buy stop here. And I have a way of closing... You could say close all buy stops only, which would be this one. So if you want to automate this to a hotkey keyboard, you just put forward slashes in front of for the close all buys. You take away the this open position. Just put 2 forward slashes in front of that. And that would, and then I think you might have to, if it gives you an error message, you might have to close off this break word. The break might have to be there. You have to leave break there. Let's see if that compiles. 2 forward slashes in front of this should turn off the, see, a broken token. That's not good. So go like this. See, it all fucks it up. I don't know how I've got other versions of this. Was able to get it to turn off that first. I may have to turn off that whole phrase. Otherwise, you could just manually, because I blocked off these, and somehow I'm not sure how I did that on the other, why it compiles on this, but apparently if I try to do the same thing here, I can't stop it from closing. I turned off this stupid ass alert though. Kept popping up on the screen and getting in the way. That was making me crazy. So far it's long here on a small position with the bigger ATRs here. It's sniffing for entries, pull back stop entries right now with this one pending here. Here comes the bottom of the hour. Okay, so wow, big drama here. So this short, even though, well, it looks like it would have been a trap. But switching this on will definitely put you in the sell mode. We're still hunting for the buy stop. I'm not sure if I got stopped out of something there. It's hard to keep track what's going on here. Guess you have to watch the balance like a hawk. Equity. Okay, 5 minutes. 1 minute to the 5-minute bar starts. I think the fastest fill is going to be the 1 minute. The 5 minute has. So here comes the big crush back. Possibly. Let's zoom in here and see what the 4-hour view of it is. Uptrend on the 4-hour. Shouldn't trigger this, even though the ATR, the delta is really tight on that. It's not going to try to trade. In this way, when you do think that, hey, you know what, it's time to put a hedge on, maybe just have 2 panels running, right? You get rid of this, or maybe a 4. But mind you, this happens to be trading. The way this is configured, this is trading 30K, this is trading 20, this is trading 10. This is left over before I edited the, okay, looking for a run up now. We'll get filled on this one, and it's on its merry way. And if it finds another, I don't know what happened there. Cancel replays. I don't know. seem to get rid of I didn't see the equity change there, but so I don't know what it's doing there. I guess crushing down. So here we go through the floor now, and then maybe it's gonna, if it's right here at the round number, I guess you have to pay attention to what its new buy stop would be at. But it looks like this arrow here, I just saw something flicker and I just, what the hell it's doing there. It's kind of bizarre. Okay, major slam back now. Total bid down, 10 pips below the round number now. About to get stopped out of this small position. Buyer's remorse, pretty hard. Okay. Now this would have made money finally, because it did break out that sell. So putting buy stops in. Pretty violent markets. Huge moves. Volatility is just wicked. I mean, you have to really think about it. Now, I wish it was filling in a buy limit right now, but so we survived that slam down. So we could have been short on this one. And if they had a 1 minute chart, let's go along. Okay, so that was big 10 pips below the round number, slam down, and they trapped all the sellers there. So I would have had to get out of that. I would have had to babysit that entry on that sell, because it probably would have filled right here, and right now I'd be still in profits for the moment until we come back to here, and then it'd say, oh, just got trapped on that. Okay, it rewrote a lower, better order here. So this thing's ratcheting down on the price. So this area here was my previous buy stop, and now it's walking down with it. So it's doing what I would have anybody do for me if I wanted to go long, and see it just got filled. On the 1 minute chart, not a bad breakout, because the 5 minute hasn't broke out yet. So you're really buying, if this plays out, you're getting in at the body of the hammer, which is be the ultimate entry on the 5. So if I had a bunch of 1 minute charts up here, and I could switch them to engage the buy stop, trailing buy stop, pullback on a 1 minute uptrend of a larger time frame, and you know, that's how you'd probably do it. Depends how much screen you got. You can put this on another screen, this thing, and then just have pure charts over here. But yeah, this the ATR. How to manage the ATR bot, basically. So this is triple screen, sell, buy, and buy.